Oh, I love that sound. Look at this greenery. It is creek fishing time in Tennessee. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the weather to kind of get right and the creek to kind of calm down from all this flooding and rain we've had. This is one of the first creeks that like really goes back down after it floods. A lot of the others are still flooded. A friend of mine fished it the other day, caught several fish. I think they're really starting to get active. I'm gonna go starting out with a little Rebel TNR. It's a great little bait to catch a bunch of different sizes. 6-pound light action pole. It's a Cast King Calamus, 4-pound mono. Peacehaven Viper 1000 size reel. Perfect creek fishing combination. Got a sling pack ready to go. I'm gonna hopefully get some really nice fish. Just what we wanted. First catch is one of my favorite fish to catch. A little Redeye Coosa bass. The water's just a little bit murky. It gets clearer than this, but it's actually pretty good. That way you can sneak up on the fish a little more. Look at that. That is a really, really beautiful little fish. Little Coosa bass, very aggressive, similar to smallmouth. If you don't know much about the red eyes, but there's several different types of like these kind of bass, but this one here is one that's in Tennessee. Alright, picked off my second fish. He barely hit it right as I was releasing it. Just a shiner. I think it's a striped shiner. I believe that's a striped shiner. I'm not exactly sure. It could be a common. I need to know for sure on that. I'll have to work on that, but a bunch of shiners in here. They're being a little sluggish this morning, so I'm going to downsize to a little 1/64 ounce jig head, a little Nico caddy fly. I saw a little one come follow I saw a little bass follow my crankbait but didn't hit it. I think we'll start getting them with this. Well, that's what happens when you downsize. You can really pick off bunches of little shiners. There's one of them. There's that little bass I just missed. I thought it was a little Coosa bass. I saw him follow my crankbait, but he was being a little sluggish. Even this guy's this small, they have no trouble hitting a bigger lure. I love how pretty these fish are. They're just beautiful. You know, people that fish from a lot really compare them to trout. They just catch them for their beauty. You know, you're not going to get giant ones, but they fight really hard. Beautiful little fish. There's schools of just hundreds and hundreds of these shiners in there, and this is the average size. They can get a little bit bigger, but it's really the most common fish probably in here. We're gonna upsize, throw the huggermite out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Second cast, the huggermite. I tossed it in front of me, then I tossed it behind me. Little pool right there. This right here is a beautiful Coosa bass. This is a prime example of sometimes you need to upsize, sometimes you need to downsize to get those fish to hit. And this is just a regular size Coosa bass, red eye that you're gonna catch out of here. about 6 inches, feisty little guy. He didn't hit the little lure, but he hit that big old Helgermite. Another one. Oh, nice. Whoa, this. A bit too low. This is a really good Coosa bass. Oh no! Fell down on the rocks into the water. I don't know if you saw it or not. That was a really good size one to catch out of here. Oh, there's my fish. I just looked down and saw my Coosa bass. Oh, he's stuck. Yes, I got him out, rescued him. All right, I'll put him back in the water really quick. This is just a beautiful fish. Look at the colors on this guy. No telling how long this fish has been in this creek. He's got to be like over 5 years old. They don't get that big, and this is a really good size to catch out of a creek. Beautiful fish. I'm gonna put him back in the water real quick. Some people have been asking, where's the Helgermite been? Well, here it is. It's a perfect example of how I can pick off fish. Even these little guys, you can get them to hit. They just really like it. And I threw other lure in there several times, nothing. 2 tosses with this, 2 fish. That's it. Pretty good one. It's in the current. Nice. That's a beautiful fish right there. I love these guys. They're so colorful. And they're really aggressive. They'll hit that big lure. Smoked it, look. Hey. Alright, switch to a little Bobby Garland. Trying to get a red breast. I haven't made an appearance yet, but the Coosa bass are making up for it and they're stealing the show. All right, another Coosa bass. They're really out here. Yeah, there's some. Yeah. All right, there's our first one. I've been wondering when they were going to show up. This one's just a little one, but they're really colorful, red breast sunfish. A lot of colors on them. There's a lot of them in here, and they can get a lot bigger than this and be really bright. Wearing these Coosa bass out today. You got a bug inside of him. He ate a little bitty bug. These guys will really hammer lure sometimes. They just come out and get it. I got just a couple spots I want to hit. I'm going to try out the Mega Bass 3-inch swim bait. The Bobby Garland was working good, but I'm going to give this a try, see if it'll pull out anymore. Oh my, this is the biggest one of the day. I love this little spot. It seems to always catch a little fish. I've never caught one this big here. Check this little chunker out. Just a really nice fish. This is nice for a creek bass, but especially for a Coosa bass, really good. All right, let's throw that guy back in. I love getting a close up on these guys, especially with this good camera. I was way down there, I don't know if you saw, but this is a tank for a Coosa bass out of this creek. What? If you catch one this big out of anywhere, that's a really good catch. He just came up and nailed the swim bait. I'll talk about lures at the end here in just a minute. This may be my last fish. Probably gonna go, but I can keep catching fish all day, you know, in the creek. They just keep on biting. But man, what a fish. I love those red eyes, just awesome. All right, it's probably my last one. I'm gonna go ahead and go and end this video out. I'd like to take this opportunity for all the creek fishing enthusiasts out there to declare April the National Creek Fishing Awareness Month. I know there's lots of people getting into creek fishing, and I've talked to a lot of people that said they've started picking it back up, and it's, you know, it's just a trend of things. You know, people used to fish them all the time, and a lot of people fish them when they're kids, and then they move up to bass fishing or, you know, lake fishing, and now they're kind of going back to creek fishing. And it's just, I always liked it because it's simple, fun. I usually do it by myself. You don't need anybody around. Sometimes you have people around, it's hard to fish because you'll scare them away. As my channel is called Creek Fishing Adventures, I'm going to try to always focus on creeks and just how to fish them and what about them, and a few tips that I would have for anybody that's getting into creek fishing, maybe been fishing for a long time. Obviously I don't know everything. I'm not going to say that I've been doing it all my life. I've been fishing creeks most of my life, and I've really gotten serious into it the last 5-6 years, where I've been doing a lot. The first area I would talk about is for catching more creek fish, and it could be river fish too, but mainly creeks, smaller areas, is casting and approach. The way you walk up to the bank and your first cast is very critical. If you walk right up to the bank real loud, stop right there and cast 5 foot in front of you, you're probably not gonna catch anything. Approach the bank. I cast a lot of times, I'll be 10 feet back. A lot of people will be like, why are you so far back from the bank? Because I don't want to be right up on top of the fish. The fish could be right on the bank where I'm walking to. You know, even if it's on the other bank, it's only 15 feet across. So approach slowly, cast back away, and work on casting. If you're 12 inches off the bank compared to 6 inches, could be the difference in catching a fish. Sometimes they're tight really to a bank, to a rock, to a tree. You got to get it right on top of them sometimes and to catch them. All right, next thing is lures. Most of the time, it really doesn't matter what kind of lure you use. Now, yes, it can make a difference, but most of the time, if you can get a good cast in a creek, that fish is waiting to hit something. Now today, which happens sometimes, the bigger fish would only hit the bigger lures. Sometimes it's the opposite. But when I went to the Hellgrammite and the swim bait, like 3 and then this 4-inch Easy Shiner, it really brought out the bigger things. Now the downside is you're not gonna catch as many fish, but you could really bring out some fish that you don't even know are there if you start throwing like basically regular bass lures, you know, fishing for the bigger stuff. Sometimes I'll throw the crick hopper, which I love it, and I'll catch everything. 2-pound bass I've caught on the crick hopper. I've also seen, I've thrown the crick hopper and the bass would not hit it, switch to a Hellgrammite or something a little bit bigger and catch those bass. But I'm not catching the little panfish. I usually go for quantity over quality, and that's a great thing in the creeks. There's so many fish in there, and it's just fun to pick them off and just get all the different variety and just see the different things. Next, I will add to those fish is please, I don't want to tell people not to do this, but please don't be taking all the fish out of the creeks. Yes, I know a lot of people grew up doing that all their life. Every time they go to the creek, they're like, let me see how full I can get this stringer. I got 40 fish on here. I hate seeing that out of a creek, out of the lake, a river. It's fine, there's thousands of fish in there. Creeks, those fish stay in those same areas. They'll live in that same area always. Like, it may be living in there 10 years. I might have caught fish today. I'm sure I've caught fish today that were over 5 years old. You know, they stay in one area, they don't grow very fast, and they just live and live and live. I've caught several times, I know I've caught the same fish. Oh, fish just jumped back there. Same fish a couple years in a row out of the same exact hole. course, you can do what you want. Most creeks are public property, especially if it's on your own private property. I have seen in the last few years where places that I used to fish, I know other guys have gone back in there and they've been taking them out. I've seen several stringerfuls, or people send me pictures, and I cannot catch any big fish. All the largemouth, I can't find them. I only catch the little bitty ones. Where I used to be catching 12, 14-inch bass easy, and there used to be a lot of fish in there, and even the sunfish, they were taking it out. But I mean, if you take the turtles and the beavers out, that's fine. But try not to take too many fish. If you do, try to limit that. Fishing a creek, this creek right here gets fished a ton in the summertime. And it's been fished for years, but now they got a greenway down here. Kids come down here and fish. Adults come down here and fish like me. I know I get pictures from people all the time catching fish, and you know what? These fish are totally fine. As long as you treat that fish, you know, fairly, I guess, whatever you call it, just, you know, easy on it, put them back in there, make sure it releases okay. You know, you don't have to lay it gently in the water, but, you know, just make sure everything's okay on it, let it swim back off. That fish will be fine, because all these fish in here have been caught before. There's no way these fish have not been caught. They've been caught over and over again, and they still live. I caught a bunch of nice fish today. If I was wearing my chest mount and just walking around, I probably would have caught twice as many, but I was trying to show that on the camera here. But those fish will be fine. You can catch them over and over again as long as you release them and put them back in there. Alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully this video was fun to watch. I have to go back and look at it. I love seeing those fish close up. I really wanted to use this camera and just get some real good angles. My buddy Logan made a video down here, you know, and he was showing me, and I love seeing how close they were. I got some other friends that have been doing some videos like this. It kind of limits my fishing, because I want to go in there and fish, but it hopefully lets you see the fish a little clearer and maybe see some nature and stuff like that. Alright, well, I hope you get out there this April. I know some places a little bit cold, some places already been creek fishing, but April is a good month to get out there, explore some creeks. The fish are really getting active.